Midrift Human Rights Network, in collaboration with the Danish Institute Against Torture, launched the Gender-Based Violence Study Report and the Information, Education and Communication IEC booklet. In a historical event graced by Nakuru County Government Acting Director for Gender and Culture, Madam Selina Nkatha, stakeholders from the government, civil society, community health volunteers, and community policing committees, together with gender experts from various organizations, attended the ceremony held at the Waterback Hotel in Nakuru. Speaking during the event, Madam Selina Nkatha thanked Dignity and Midrift Hurinet for the hard work, the dedication, and the determination to achieve a society free from gender-based violence by conducting a successful study and finally launching the GBV study report.
Nakuru County has 11 sub-counties. Currently, we are in 10 out of 11. By the end of this year, we'll have gone to the 11th one, and in every sub-county, we shall have a GBV cluster, co-chaired by our sub-county administrators. Thank God they are with us this morning, even as we talk about it. I'm sure this is part of capacity building that we are doing to them. Thank you, Midlift, for giving them an opportunity. Apart from the GBV clusters, I thank Midlift for what you are doing, even with the CPC, community policing committees within the areas that you're functioning. We've seen what happens when we involve the community. Out of CPC, we were able to have the September Police Gender Desk being built out of mobilization of community policing committees. They actually brought out the issue of the September Police, whereby a gender desk was under a tree in a police station that is not fenced. You can imagine, Mzee amekuja is running after me. I'm ended to a police gender desk under a tree, and I want support. Most of them would not even go there to seek support. But out of community policing committee, they were able to highlight the issue. They were able to develop a concept, and a gender desk was actually, September Police Station is one of the best or the beautiful stations that we have in Nakuru County, out of the community policing committee. So we have an opportunity to scale down or to devolve further issues of GBV even from the sub-county level to the community level.
She said the document will be relevant to Nakuru County, adding that the launch was very timely as the entire globe is observing the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence.
I want to say that we are launching this study at a very, again, important moment globally when we are celebrating or marking the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. So I don't think there's any other better time when we should have launched this study than this particular moment, when we are marking the 16 days that start from 25th of November to 10th of December. So this is the right time actually even to talk about gender-based violence and even to launch this study. I also want to say it is important that we are talking about gender-based violence at again a very critical time globally when we have cases, increased cases of gender-based violence because of the circumstances around COVID-19. Due to its effect, and also as we observe the health directives on the prevention of GBV, we found most of our families home because we don't want to do a lot of socialization. And out of it, we've had cases going up. We've also had members of our society losing their source of livelihood. And when there's no provision of food in the house, when we can't pay our rent, we get emotionally affected, and at times it gets to, it results to GBV. It is also at a time when we have a prolonged holiday for our children. They are idle at home, they have a lot of time to do many other things, and it's so unfortunate that we've had some of our girls being defiled, and also our boys being sodomized, and we have cases of pregnancies. And so I think this is the right time when we needed to launch this study, when cases of GBV are being focused on by all of us, not only in Nakuru County, not only in Kenya, not only in the region, but globally. Our focus and attention is on GBV. What are we going to benefit out of this study as Nakuru County? One of the things that we are going to benefit from it, I said it is giving us a situational narrative of what is currently happening in our county. We are able to see from this study those things that have always been in our mind or our thoughts, and probably we could not give anything tangible to show exactly that this is what is happening. We can now have a document to say, look, this is a situational analysis in this county. After getting to understand the situation in our county, what then do we do? It will give us an opportunity to do advocacy. We shall go out there and advocate even for increased resources towards the fight against gender-based violence. We shall be able to develop intervention measures out of a situation of information. We shall also be able to bring on board those that have been left out in terms of the fight against gender-based violence. So I'm saying this is a report that is very critical and very supportive to what we do as a county in the prevention and response to gender-based violence. The findings of the study are again helping us understand, like for example, when we talk about 96% of the people who participated in the study saying that they've been exposed to at least one form of violence. What does it tell us as a society? 96%. How many are we here? 96% of us have experienced or have been exposed to one form or another of gender-based violence. So it tells us that no one of us can run away from gender-based violence. And it is our responsibility as a community, as a society. When it talks about 61% of those that were those that participated in the study of the age of 35 years and below, what does it tell us as a society? This is the youthful age. People who are expected to be productive in the society. If they are not mentally affected and psychologically sick out of being subjected to GBV, they could be in our prisons, suffering because they are perpetrators. The other day, someone from the probation's office told us one day they visited our prison at the GK prisons in Nakuru. In this particular forum, they were asked the prisoners who are in prison out of gender-based violence cases to stand up. The person told us 75% of those that stood were young men of this particular age. What is that communicating to us as a society, as Nakuru County? Is that the men who are supposed to be productive in the society are the GK prisons, in prison because of GBV cases. How about the other percentage that was left in the society
as survivors, what is happening to them in terms of psychological effects. Yeah. GBV does not only affect the survivors, by the way, in terms of psychological effects, it also affects the perpetrator. It will also affect the family members who are relatives of the perpetrator and even the survivors. It will affect the neighbor. It affects all of us. So this is a battle that cannot be won by any one person or any one sector, but all of us as a society.
With the report indicating that 61% of women from the two informal settlements of Ronda in Nakuru and Karagita in Naivasha report physical violence from their intimate partners, the stakeholders have strong faith that this document will enable them to wage an informed campaign and a successful fight against gender-based violence. Ketwanderi for Midrift.